Good morning. Happy 7-Eleven day. It's Slurpee day, 7-Eleven. Depending on your 7-Eleven around you, might be able to find free Slurpee. Um, Man, I feel like I really have not I've been covering Gulfstream Park, but haven't played much, honestly, the last, I don't know, couple months. Um but we got new Gulfstream Park Racing Week, so we now race Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Mandatory pick six every Monday. You gotta love that. So there'll always be some extra cash that's been laying around, and we'll try to find it on Monday. But we got Saturday 11 race card. They are off the turf today. Kind of a shame. They've been back on the turf, but they off the turf. They got a lot of rain overnight and this morning, so I would say on the Tapeta, like watch it early, and then it might play to speed, play to inside. Like it could. I mean, which is funny. This first race, let's dive in. We got 9 minutes. I'm gonna try to finish it in 9 minutes because I got to run to an appointment with the kids at 9:30 Pacific. But speed dangerous maybe here. The 11 or the one. One of them might win the race on the front end. It would not surprise me. A lot of people think go Amy. I don't know. Has one on the Tapeta. Has some of the better efforts. Has a strong GSR, but I thought the first race was wide open, as you can see. I caught the 3 and 7, but I thought really anybody else could win the race, and that was on the turf. So it does move on the Tapeta, maybe make it a little bit different, but they might play to speed, and you could blow up the board to start the race. The 4 can win the race. Like, I mean, it's a kind of a crazy first race. So I thought one of the more difficult races on the day was the first race. Let's keep going though. So not strong opinion race 1. I thought I have Marengo on top in race 2. I was talking to Oldie earlier, and we played a lot of Gulfstream Park together over the years and covered a lot of Gulfstream Park. And Mr. Sano is not necessarily one of our favorite trainers. I mean, this horse working well. Isano won with some 2-year-olds already at the meet, but this group is not great. It's really not. I'm 4-3-7. If you're spreading the 5, but the 4, I thought even maybe is a single in this race. I like as a bet. Marengo working well, kind of dusted the workmate last Saturday, ran 3rd recently in the maiden special weight. The 7, though, has the experience. So does the 3 Stick Talk. So, and there's speed on the main track, but I think Marengo going to run a good race. You're going to get a great price, and but the 7 and 3 do have the strongest GSRs with the group. So you can see Marengo win the race sim. So as a live firster, 100% on the 4. Has a very strong work. Has a strong work way back here in June. You'll see my notes. Just the 4. Oh yeah, I mentioned June 9th. That should be June 6th, but has a really strong work here. These are all maintenance, and I think on debut is 100% live. So I would not forget about the 4 in race 2. Again, I was 4-3-7. The 5 would be an outside look, but 4-3-7. Let's keep rolling because they got post in 6 minutes. I'm gonna try to finish race 3. I'm not even going to cover it because literally any horse can win this race. I put the 4 on top. I do think Chloe's Toy could be tough. If you're going narrow 4-5, and maybe the 2, but I thought Mbae could win race 3. It's tough 10K claimer. Race 4. I mean, here's the thing. And so we'll watch the race. I cut half the field. I think it's really maybe a 4-horse race if you're spreading. I thought the 1 and 2 had looks, but the 8 could be tough. McGowan Street's the live long shot, though. This horse could get loose on a Tapeta track that has a ton of moisture in it from all the rain. This horse could run them off their feet. It would not surprise me to see McGowan Street blow up the board and take this group a long, long way. All the money going to be on list. I do think Restock does have a look. for Mr. D'Angelo, but List romp on the race sim. But if you don't like List, again, I think it's a 4-horse race. But I didn't love List, so I kind of lean that way. But you could see romps on the race sim by nearly 4 lengths. So take that for what it's worth. Restock is a lightly raced runner for D'Angelo. Comes off a layoff. There's no works to be found, over at Palm Meadows. You sometimes can find the videos, sometimes not. But and then the inside post could run well here. But again, McAllen Street might run them off their feet. When you look back here, 2 back versus 32, nearly wired the field. Could do it today. So, if I was to single in the early pick 5, I single here to Valdero. That'd be probably my strongest opinion. I do like the 4 in the second race as a maiden. But I probably still single here. I don't know if I'm a player because I might not get time to put it in. But I think Valdero on the drop is extremely dangerous. There's a lot of speed in this race. Many need the lead. I don't think the 1 might not need the lead. And I think from that inside post at a forwardly placed trip, could get first jump, hopefully find a good trip on the rail. But with Western Shaft and Love Hate, and there's some others, there's a lot of speed here. I think the 1 could sit the trip. I was 1.768, but if I had to single, I singled the 1, Valdero. And we'll look. Comes in here. Been on the rail at both recent efforts, couldn't get the lead here, tried, and then here just had massive trouble. But these races were both much tougher, and that's why I leaned to the 1 in this race. I just don't think it's all that great of a group. And that's a 4-point drop out of Gulfstream, and that's a 6-point drop coming out of Tampa, where it didn't break on the rail, but previously has shown the ability to break. The horse does have a little bit of trouble, right? But it's lightly raced, 2 wins and 5 tries. But that's a big drop, 4 to 6 points. You want to shoot around 2 to 4 points in strength of races material. And as you can see, it is the top win percent, is the second pick. I think it'd be very tough. We look at Western Shaft. Ocasio, 1 last out versus non-winners, a 2 lifetime group at this 46 level. I think fits, but Love Hate's fast. Comes out of a drop, blast out. I think there's enough speed here, though, that could really set up for the 1 horse. So I put the 1 on top in race number 5. All right, we got 2 minutes. I don't know if they usually post drag, so it might get done. Race 6, I do think Pardon My Dolly could run back. We got a group of firsters here. Not super strong opinion as 8.95. But the 8 going to be the price, has the strongest GSR, the group facing Life's Mystery, the Safi runner, and then Touch of Honor is his second time, Carlos David, who's always going to improve with his runners. Doesn't do great first time out, but does, obviously, Carlos David, 3rd in wins at the meet. Sammy Camacho not riding today. He's leading jockey Diego Herrera 2nd. They keep flip-flopping, but Sammy must be riding elsewhere. You all, if you've looked at other races, will be able to see that. I didn't get a chance to look, but 8.95, not strong opinion. I think this, you probably cut the 7 and 3 too. I think it's just a 3-horse race. I think the picks have it. You look at Pardon My Dolly, though, ran a good race last out versus a 50 group for Cazares. Morelos rides back, should get the lead probably today, and that might be enough, and just run them off their feet. But Touch of Honor going to be a good price. All the money going to be on Life's Mystery. First time out ran well for Carlos David. So again, probably improved second time out at this same strength of race. Was 20 to 1 that day. Now going to be more closer to 3 to 1. And Life's Mystery going to take all the money for Safi, 8 to 5, 9 to 5. Makes sense. I think that horse fits based on the works. I didn't get to see any video, but that horse looks fit and ready to roll. And Safi does such a great job. So, I mean, this race kind of scratched out. It kind of made it wide open, honestly. I think Private Thoughts could win this race. Strongest GSR of the group. Burn some money, but I think Can's Spy Novel player. But Junction Road and Collar fit too. I didn't have strong opinion here. With all the scratches and everything, it kind of changed the race. There's not a lot of pace. So it's why I lean 2 and 5, honestly, to try to beat Junction Road. Because of all the moisture in the Tapeta track, I do think it'll favor speed today. But watch it early. But if it does, I think that it could make the 2 and 5 tough. And again, that's why I put the 2 on top. By far strongest strength of race and by far best genetic strength rating. So bred for this, but burn some money. But again, these were much tougher efforts for Spats, and he's shown the ability to be way tougher than this in 66 and 68's last winter and last fall. So I think the two could be tough, but money burners, I cannot stand, as most of you know if you follow this, and it makes it tough. But again, that's a good size drop there for Private Thoughts. Coming 4 points in SOR's material. And again, with the moisture in there and not a great group here in the scratches really helped the two, I thought, with the scratches. So I think could be tough. And again, I'd probably just be 2-5 maybe if I play late, but because it's tough to spread in a 4-horse race for me. Like try to find 1 or 2 horses, but that'd be 2-5. I mentioned race 1. I thought was one of the wide open races of the card. It's about to go. This would be the other one. I think a lot of money going to go on Del Rosario. Makes sense. I think Melody Factor makes sense. It's just a game. Dream Diamond, a long shot. Could have speed on the front end. I think the 1 is cheap, and the 7 could get loose. And we keep talking about moisture in the Topita track. Dream Diamond might be one of the most beneficial ones there. Because I think the 7 could get loose up front. Mischievous Scout just broke the maiden. Never liked to win. Maybe the light bulb went off and can come back and win again. But I would be spread here in late pick 5, late pick 6. I'm not going to play the pick 6s except for on Monday. We'll probably cover them every Monday now that Gulfstream flipped to Fridays or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And Monday, always mandatory pick 6 payout. So, I mean, I thought this race pretty tough on the Topita. Race 9. I thought the picks had it. I like Make the Boys Wink, but they came off the turf, and I thought was going to get a good pace setup. Still might, because there's a lot of speed here. Safi has a ton of runners in this stakes race. But the 5 is the one that I actually thought is a price. The 6 up front, I think, is live, and then Miss Mary Nell was my top. But actually, I put the 5 on top. That's 5-3-6. So kind of flipped the picks around. But it's a good stakes race. It's kind of a bummer they came off the turf with all of that rain. But it's still a good race, I thought. And you can see on the race sim, if we fly to the end, the 6 wins, the 3 and 5 right there. If you go you can see the 5's a big closer on the Topita. So if this race can fall apart, which it might because there's a lot of speed, the 5 going to be rolling, and Morelos never ride for Safi. And Morelos aboard. I thought that was a little bit interesting. And again, look, these closing efforts at this 66 XOR group, second off the layoff, like, man, a great price too. This horse probably take a little bit of money, but this is the Safi runner I like. I don't like the other ones. And again, Miss Mary Nell, Carlos David made a lot of sense too. And then obviously the 6. So I think they have it there. Race 10, I think sneak preview with the 5 and 7 scratch is a single probably. I don't really like the 3. The 1 romps on the race sim. Coming from, a lot tougher races in these 64 and 58s and nearly won. The concern was last out versus that short field and ran second. But I think Perez do a better job today for Paisley. You can see the 1-1 on the EE morning line. Lou the body. These others are all, maybe I don't like the 1. You could toss it, but I think the 1's probably a single to try to beat the rest of this group. It is a little bit of a competitive starter optional claim, but you can see the 1 historically has come from some tougher races. And then they're about to go, so I'm going to let you all go. In the last, if the 9 doesn't wire the field, the race is wide open. I do think with the turf or with the off the turf, and the moisture in the Topita, the 9 has a great chance to run them off their feet, though. Look at that pace advantage. It's 20, we got 78, so 23 points. So a big chance on the Topita, especially if it's favoring speed, that horse runs them off their feet. If for some reason it's not, and this is the last race of the day, the race comes completely wide open, in my opinion. You see it here on the race sim, which is a good indicator. But if that 9 does not wire the field, they might be in a line of like 4, 5, 6 horses, in my opinion. So I was 9,347. Long outside looks would be 168, but the 9 might run them off their feet. That's all I got. We'll be back. We'll do another one tomorrow. I'll try to do one each day this week. We'll do one for sure on Monday because it'll have a mandatory pick six every day. So if we find something we like, we'll definitely be playing. Good luck. Have fun. If you're playing Saratoga, Gulfstream, or wherever else, lots of great racing. And we'll be back soon. Chat soon. Good luck, y'all.